and so giving of their work to share it and let it be shared. It's really stunning.
It's a very fluid process. One of the things, one of the times I visited Austin, one of the camera operators came up to me and said, Heather, she said, I'm going to do this gig until it ends, until the show ends, and then I won't do this anymore. I'm going to do something else with my life. And I was like, why? And she said, well, this is what when I started doing this is what I thought I'd be doing, you know, and it's not like this anywhere. And I think, you know, in other words, she's really, you know, she's going out there finding shots, you know, finding what's beautiful to her and telling stories as a camera operator. And I thought that was just, it's always stayed with me because I think that everybody who's on the show has that experience, and it travels back to the writers. You know, what's going on set travels back to the writers because we're in two different locations. We're in LA, the writers and the editors are in LA, and everybody else is in Texas. But it travels back to us because the style is so fluid, and there's such a sort of can-do attitude, and it's shot in this great way. We are free to write anything we want to write. You know what I mean? We can write, usually on a TV show, you've got like, you know, you've got your main set and then you got a swing set. And that's what you can write, and you've got a, you know what I mean, that's it. And here we're on location, and, you know, I'll say to Jeff Reiner, you know, this is a crazy idea, you know, what if we like, we had this idea to do a rodeo. He's like, yeah, all right, let's go to a rodeo, let's do a rodeo. And we have this crazy, ridiculous idea, let's do this, we want to do this thing where they play a game, you know, out in a cow pasture. And it's, you know, it's like, all right, let's do it. And, you know, you're just free. You're free to just do whatever character you want to write in, whatever you want to do. And I think there's a feeling that the writers have, the actors, the people, the crew, and also the editors. It's the same kind of thing.
Is it hard being in two different cities, production-wise, or is it a pretty smooth system?
Well, I think that we have incredible producers who are with Jeffrey Reiner, who is a director-producer who is in Austin 90% of the time, and he and Nan Bernstein. But Jeffrey has, you know, directed. I think he directed 8 of the episodes. And he really is the person, you know, the two of us talk constantly. You know, we talk, you know, every day. I try to come as much as I can, but it's difficult between the you know, working with the writers and working with the editors. But I think that, you know, we sort of continually stay in communication, and you know, it's just been one of those situations where, yeah, it's a classic situation where that could be an incredibly hard thing, but because everybody is in sync and there's this trust that is developed between everybody.
You kind of do that on Lost too now, with being in Hawaii and being in LA and stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe talk to the cast a little bit about, I mean, it seems to me like the show is terrific, but some of the best scenes to me are the small scenes. It's not the football scenes, it's the scenes between, you know, Tim Riggins and his dad, or, you know, these guys, obviously. I mean, talk a little bit about the kind of the more intimate scenes and kind of how you guys feel about those.
I remember one time with my character, whatnot, just talking to Pete, like really briefly during the pilot, and just with, like, when you're starting with a character, you obviously want to make him, you want to differentiate, and you want to make him your own and all that jazz. But with Pete, it was just, it's make him work. That's the one thing I remember him telling me, and he kind of just said it, just like, you know, walking by. It wasn't like this intense focus, you know, this is what we're going to do, but it's always, you know, stuck in my head. And when I'm playing Riggs, I always, you know, I learn from this guy a lot, but this guy's eyes and everything, but you can, yes. But no, you know what I mean? He's brilliant at it, and you see it every show, and it's just like, and we do it a lot, we leave off just a look instead of, you know, I'm feeling this way, and that's why I'm going to say what I'm going to say, and here's 14 pages of a monologue, you know? We'll just leave it as like a look, you know, and make you work, make you know or want to know more about and what's going on, you know, and why. So that's my experience.
There was the reconciliation between Riggins and Street. in episode 19. And it was like 5 words. So, Texas forever.
Friends.
Always. That was it. That's all you needed. I think, I mean, there's something to be said for less is more. And a lot of times, you know, the stuff on the page is brilliant, but sometimes it's just some, you know, the director will walk on and be like, you know what, let's just, you know, it's a 42-minute show, and we don't have enough time, and we want to make sure that all the beats are hit. And so, you know, sometimes we'll just scale something back, and yeah. I don't know, the little character moments are where it's at. I don't know, you can't build a show around a sport, you have to build it around the people, so.
And then the thing is a lot of, you know, there are moments that just kind of happen, but there are a lot of these moments that are written out, that are, you know, like the scene at the end of the Mud Bowl episode with me and Tyra. There, you know, there was nothing there, which is, you know, there's nothing really to be said about that, and that was written out, and you can't, you know, you can't come up. That's the writers. It's great, you know, they're writing these little moments out, which doesn't happen all the time. So.
Do you guys get the sense that the passionate following, being in Austin, do you get the sense that how passionate the following is, or do you kind of, are you reading the blogs, are you reading the emails? Where's your head at as far as the popularity of the show?
He reads
He
blogs.
reads everything.
I am a glutton for punishment. I read everything, but everybody says they like everything, so that's why it's easy to read it. You know?
Well, also being in Austin is kind of great because we're in our own little world, and everybody in Austin, they just love that we're there. So, and they're just all big fans of the show, and they just, when they see us, they're like, oh, y'all are just so great. So, you know, that's all we really need.
Of all the pieces I've read on different television shows, I usually get maybe 20 to 30 email responses. They hate it, they love it, whatever. When I read about Friday Night Lights, I got 630 responses. And it was just like, how can I write to Kevin Riley? How do we keep this show on the air? And it was just, I mean, it just kind of blew me away how phenomenal the support was.
So you're gonna forward all those to.
Where did I see the quote that you said that there are 2 types of people in this world?
He says that all the time.
Say it, come on. Come on, say it.
If I had a nickel.
I love this, but I mean, it's true, I think.
Well, there seems to be two kinds of people that watch about the show, and it's people who have seen it and love it, or have never seen it before. Because I haven't met many in between, literally, that have said, "I've seen it, I don't care too much for
Well,
it."
do you
So.
think they would tell you?
That one drunk fella did it. Well.
Do you guys kind of see them as kind of parents on the show and kind of like talk to them about stuff?
I hope not.
They're just as young as we are. They're just wiser.
They're the biggest jokesters around.
Yeah.
What else do you guys see as far as the season? Where would you like to see your characters go in season 2? Go down the line.
I want to be number 1 on the call sheet. That's it. Watch out, buddy. I'm coming.
Go ahead, down the line.
I don't know. You know, it's been interesting for me because starting off the season, like you get it's this crazy character who has all these crazy ideas, gives way too much really, really, really bad advice. Just horrible, but totally buys every word that he's saying and thinks that it's, you know, that it's freaking priceless. And you get these with me. It's been fun because you get these little moments that have kind of added up as the season, and I've loved how it's all come together now at the end, where you actually get to see kind of what's behind all of that. So I hope to kind of get to find out more because I've grown to love Landry so much. So.
Jason, I guess, he's the first kid that's going to step into being an adult. He's already kind of had to handle some of that stuff. He's now gotten his GED and he's working full time, so he's out of school. And I don't know what grade everybody else is in, and we never have said it, except for the fact that I'm a senior and Saracen's a sophomore and Smash is a junior. I think those are the only ones that have been verbalized, unless Connie let it slip what Julie is at some point throughout the season.
She's, yeah. I don't think